How are you doing today? We got hazy clear skies, yeah, at the same time. And it's going to be a warm one today, 80 degrees. Um, so I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things. Today we're going to work with the Akashic Tarot and from a very simple deck that I thought I lost when I was doing our family meetup yesterday. I thought I couldn't find this deck, but it fell behind my other ones. So what was there, something I thought was lost is not. So there's our first message. Second message was, the last message we had was that we would be receiving a gift. And if we were awake, we would understand what that gift was. And we also, one of the messages was you're going to be receiving, we got it a couple times, receiving a message from far away place, and it was going to be good news for everyone. Okay? Now this is an example of how we want it to be something, and yet it may not be that. So, and also Mercury retrograde about people coming back. You know, sometimes people come back in your dreams. Sometimes people come back in your thoughts. Sometimes they come back in the physical. I'll tell you the whole story. So I have my cat, right? That's not my cat. It's Tomcat. And he's owned by some creepy people, but he's owned. He's got a collar. Now, he keeps coming here, and we try to contact them, and they don't answer. They don't answer any text messages. They don't answer the phone call for the number on his tag. So we, started to feed him, and the collar was loose, and finally it falls off. He runs off. I end up getting him a new collar, but I put the tag on that collar, in case the people are still there, so they would see his tag, his collar's off. But, and he kept coming around. But he's a tomcat. He can't come into my house because he sprays, right? He's marking his territory. He's going around. Clearly a tomcat's going to make the rounds. That you think about a male human being, or even a female, but they call him, he's a tomcat, right? He's hitting it and quitting it everywhere he goes. Friendly with everyone, never stays with anybody because he's on the hunt, which is kind of what the tag said, right? I'm out looking for hoes, so let me go. If you got a snitch, call my main bitch. So he's got a main person. So here's your message. This guy that's coming around, sniffing around you, he's got somebody else. He's just not satisfied there, so he keeps looking everywhere else. Are you going to feed him? To me, this is a cat, and he's desperate for attention, but he did have a collar on. I'm a little concerned because they don't respond when I contact them, and he keeps coming here. So I thought, all right, well, we should get him fixed so he doesn't get, in fights, and see what we can do with him. I bring him into the house, put him in the garage. I literally stayed with him until 10:30 last night. Yes, people who don't know me, now you're going to understand. People that know me, they won't be surprised by this. I'm laying on the garage floor on this blanket with him till 10:30 at night. He's completely asleep, snuggled up against me, right? Anytime I moved, he'd start nursing on the blanket, very happy and content. The second I would go to leave, he'd cry. So I waited. That's why I stayed so many hours. And then I finally left him. He was quiet. When I went down, it was 6:45 this morning, he was gone. How he got out of that garage, he managed to wriggle himself past the thing that we had set up as a barrier, and he was out. He doesn't want to be kept in. So there's your message. I said, as I said after I hung up, I got off the group chat, I said, I wonder what my gift is going to be. I wonder if I'll recognize it when it comes. Think about that. Will you recognize your gift when it comes? Because it might be there and you don't see it. It might arrive and you may not realize it's your gift. So I'm thinking that, and I look out the window, and here he comes running down the hill towards me, crying, crying, crying. He'd been gone all day, and here he came back. He's never come back at night. That's why I brought him in the garage. He's never done that before. So I thought, must be my gift. And I had done a reading, and the reading said, neuter me. That was one of the messages, neuter me. And I'm lonely, I'm sad, I have the best of intentions. These are the messages. So I thought, all right. Well, I get up this morning, he's gone. But in my dreams, and then I got a text message early first thing this morning from my girlfriend from far away. Your birthday present should be there. There's a gift. That's also a message from far away. So I thought it was the cat. It's not the cat. It's the gift coming from my best friend. And the message from far away is also from my best friend. We have to think about the now, what's happening right now, not what's happening, what we want to have happen or what might be coming. It's what is happening right now. In my dreams, up shows somebody from my past. This is a guy that, he and I had something kind of going. It never really got off. It just was dysfunctional. He's like a tomcat. He would be from one girl to another, hit it and quit it, like that cat, wanting attention, wanting affection, going. It wasn't somebody that was going to stick around. And he showed up in my dreams last night, and I'm like, why are you here? I don't want to see you. But he's showing me. And there was another person that was in my dreams too. It was an old roommate of mine. It was an alcoholic. She was a nurse. She was into drugs. She was an alcoholic. She was in the dream with him. And they kind of were hooking up. And I was just like, okay. So I looked at the scenario that was playing out in my physical, because I told you what's going on in your physical life, you'll see it played out and mirrored out in other areas. It's trying to give you a message about what's going on. So there is somebody in your life who belongs to someone else who wants your attention. They're not loyal to anyone. They'll go to wherever they get attention. Remember, there was an offer that was going to be coming, and it was a negative offer, and there was an offer that was going to be coming, and it was a positive offer. Well, there's someone in my life, and I think I know where it is now, who has been wanting my attention, coming to me, who clearly has a relationship with someone else. It's dysfunctional, but it's a relationship with someone else. And they have been wanting my attention. And I've been nice, and it's interesting because Spirit said to us in one of our readings, you've been feeling, you've been wanting to help someone. You know, you've been nice, trying to be helpful, and not realizing that this person is just taking your energy. This person is taking and not giving back. So this is a toxic energy. So that was a warning the cat is showing me. So I'm not going to take a cat down to get fixed that belongs to someone else that just wants to keep coming here. He sprayed inside the garage. He's marking his territory. He's kind of like, I own you, I own you, I own you. He's acting like a dog. But he's a tomcat. Another message. There's another psychic. She's not, I guess she's a psychic, and she's a tarot card reader. She's awesome. She's hysterical. A lot of people that I know listen to her. Her name's Veronica. She put out a video yesterday, apparently, about Mercury retrograde. So I went and listened to it because there were some questions. It was a joke, people. She was saying 10 top things not to do during Mercury retrograde, or 10, and one of them was ask for help from your spirit guides or God. Don't do it because they're on vacation. During Mercury retrograde, they don't answer. You won't get any answers. All communication's fucked up. Don't sign a contract. Don't get married. Don't buy anything. All these things. She was making fun. But people actually, we have to be careful during Mercury retrograde because people listen to the words that we're saying. And if they're not very, very clear and correct, there are so many misunderstandings. It's classic. That is classic Mercury. You have to be very, very careful with your communication. I wouldn't choose to sign a marriage contract or a house contract or a business contract, something binding that's very, very major. I wouldn't make a major decision during Mercury retrograde. No, I wouldn't, because things are just too changeable. I would wait until after to do that. But calling on your spirit guides and them being on vacation, that never happens. They're always there for us. So those are the things I wanted to say. And we'll just leave it up to Spirit, to bring us our messages. And we got to pay attention when they come, whether we like them or not. I love that cat. He's a sweetheart. Just like, the person that's been contacting me, he's a really nice person, right? Nice person, have a lot in common. But there's something fishy going on there. And I'm not into that. Thanks. So I'm going to turn on the radio, and I'm going to see if there's a message. Variety. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, want to let loose. Dreaming of making a better life for myself. So this is somebody who was told that they couldn't succeed. They made fun of them. You're always riding in the back seat. You'll never amount to anything. Who do you think you are? Person takes off, goes out there and shows them who the hell he thinks he is, and creates his life. Is successful, and now he's coming back and he's saying, I was lightning before the thunder, and now you who are making fun of me are now sitting in the nosebleeds clapping for me while I'm up on stage. So karma kind of has flipped itself. He went out and he proved himself. It's not even karma, it's just taking control of your life and doing, I can do anything I set my mind to. So that's what the person said. Wasn't going to be told by anyone else that he couldn't. But the first message I got was variety. So somebody wants a variety. So be careful with the offers that are coming in and the attention that you're getting. All right. The first message we're going to be working with is the Akashic Tarot. Connect for neutrality on all levels. I mean, think about it. If you get married during Mercury retrograde, you can have your renewal vows on Mercury retrograde. Doesn't mean it's got to be a divorce, right? You can't, stop everything. I would just, if you can, delay. Correct for neutrality on all levels. What is the most important message for us to receive at this time? I'm laughing. I'm laughing with kind of not really laughing. All right. The first message that we're getting, it's upside down, reversed. It's the winged messengers. Okay, so there's the Red Hawk. Remember, the Red Hawk's coming with a message. I got that all day yesterday. Red Hawk coming with a message. The angel is also delivering a message, right? But if you look up close, and it looks like a pretty setting, right? Things all look good on the outside. Now, this is interesting to me. I look at this, and it's at the top of the suit of this card is called the Two of Roses. And every time I look at this, this particular card, I think of the War of the Roses. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the War of the Roses. This couple that was just toxic relationship. Fought. It was brutal. I mean, they fought over the house. They would blow up the house rather than let each other have it. It was violent. It was awful. So you're looking at this, but on the outside, it looked like they had this big, beautiful house, right? So on the outside, it looks good. Beautiful setting. It's got this big, beautiful palatial house in the background. Looks like a castle. Garden's beautiful. It's a beautiful sunny day. Birds flying around. Table set up. But if you look closely, that cup is knocked over. If you think about the Two of Cups in tarot, the Two of Cups is a coming together. It's love, it's fulfillment, it's partnership, it's union, it's prosperity, right? That's the Two of Cups. Well, one of these cups is knocked over and the dish is shattered. It's broken. So it could be a small conflict, right? One of them is fine. The rest of it's, the scene is fine, right? But in reverse, everything's fallen off that table. The table's upside down. Everything's upside down. So what has started out as maybe a small disagreement has grown into a full-blown War of the Roses, right? Nobody is going to come together at this table. Nobody can. Everything's upside down. You're not listening maybe to spirit because your cup, everything is dumped. All the liquid, all the emotion is falling out. So, and when you look at it in this way, the dove of peace is over the red hawk, bringing the message. But if you look at this way, the hawk is over the dove of peace, warning, bringing a message. The peace is upside down, right? So, whatever's going on, it could be your own fears. It could be the outside circumstances. But chaos is around you. Here's the falling tower for somebody. And it's making it difficult to bring peace to yourself or to the ones around you. I mean, come on. Everything is upside down. So, at this point, nothing is ever useless or beyond repair if all parties or even your own self wish to become in alignment. Right? So even though the situation might be difficult, if you choose to pull it together and try to foster a win-win situation, right now, apparently because everything's kind of like, it's all out in the open now. It isn't like, it's not a facade. It's kind of all on the table. It's all off the table. Everybody can see it now. So now that it's there, it might be that the War of the Roses has erupted. Everyone's spoken their truth. They've said what it is. And if you choose to put this back together, you can. It might be now that, okay, well, now we all know how each other stands. Right? I've heard you. You've heard me. We know where the other feels. I've seen everything now. It's all laid out on the table in front of me. It's been shaken up, right? It's not hidden. It's not hiding under a demure exterior. So if this is in a situation where you want to try and fix this, or you decide that you've recognized it all and you're going to kind of pull it together, that's where we're at choice now. And you want to foster a win-win situation always, right? You want to bring harmony always. But if you aren't able, if you were the only one, and it has literally become the full-on war of the roses, Spirit says, stay away from the drama. Like in my dream last night, the ones that I watched, I didn't want anything to do with that. I was watching that tomcat, I was watching that drunk friend. Hello. Hello, little messenger. Our winged messenger, our first messenger. This is a red finch. Finch speaks about a great deal of sudden activity all of a sudden. Sudden activity all of a sudden, right? Finch is also a community bird. Hold on, we're going to go back to the card. I'm feeling someone's energy right now, and it's tense, it's tight. It's tight in my chest. I feel it. I feel this tension. So the fact that the finch, what did I say? Walk away from the drama. I didn't want anything to do with it, personally. Right? I don't want to have to clean up the mess. Like that tomcat that came into my house. I was trying to help, but he sprayed. He doesn't want to be there, and he sprayed, and I don't want to have to clean up the mess. I'm certainly not going to bring it into my physical home. You know, so you may have been trying to work with somebody, help somebody out, but they are causing their own mess. And they're going to damage your peace of mind, or your physical space, or everything around you. Who knows what you're going to bring into yourself. So when the finch shows up, it's about energy amplification. As I said, a great deal of sudden activity, new experiences, more active life, increases in potentials. So you've got the potential for things to go really, really well if you choose. It helps you recognize not only the way physically things appear, but how spiritually things are. Helps you recognize your own voice, since they're a singer, right? And use your voice, have tenacity and the ability to be very quick and observant and notice things. Remember, we were getting the fox, adaptable, flexible, also camouflage? Well, finch teaches you to awaken to the surroundings, whatever's going on around you. And it aids to connections within family. So I kept getting that this was a family arrangement. And so if this is a family arrangement, it makes it even more sticky, right? I mean, we see the family home. So whether this be your own personal house, as in you, yourself, and you, or your physical family, it could be cousins, like immediate family, but it's family. Could be work family. Let's put it that way if we want to get it really broad. But we have been getting that there's a family problem. We saw the family tree split, right? There's a split. There's the falling tower. Disruption. It's all on the table. Everybody sees it, but it isn't a pretty picture. And what I watched was not nice. And what I experienced, it wasn't too bad because I had it out in my garage. I didn't have it in my house. But if that cat had been in this house and sprayed in my house, you don't get cat spray out. And now you see over here, a little businessman showed up. This is our victory sparrow, but it's also a sparrow of self-worth. I know it's dark, but he comes every day to eat, just like that tomcat. Think about it. He comes every day to my patio to eat, this little victory sparrow. So, remember yesterday we were going to have to see, were we willing to look at something and decide if it was actually as creepy as it felt, or if it was actually good? We were having to make a choice. Okay. The victory sparrow is also a sparrow of self-worth. So if you love yourself, you are going to first protect yourself, your interest, your heart, your business, your family. You may want to help someone. You may have been extending yourself, but you need to be realistic and see that things could be very destructive, this person, this event, this situation, to bring this into your own family. Your family is peaceful. And maybe you've already allowed it, or maybe this is in your family. So then Spirit says, what do I do at this time? Well, the Spirit says, remove yourself from the drama. Step away from the conflict. When others are determined to have things their way, that cat was going to leave. He wanted to break out, and before he left, he sprayed everywhere. Okay? So you have the power of Spirit. The dove is still here, whether it's down or above. That's Spirit. So if it's here, there's peace descending upon you. If it's here, there's peace in your foundation. So you lean into Spirit and recognize they're always there to support you, even if the falling tower has hit your family or your business or even your personal mind. You can pull it together. You don't have to be involved in that. And no, you know what? Stop being so generous with your time and your energy. I laid on the concrete floor. He was comfortable, I wasn't. But I did that for him, trying to help him. Now he's just a cat, but he's showing me something, and I have to pay attention. I will leave the food and water out for him. He can have it if he wants. But I'm not going to take this animal into my house and disrupt my house. I'm not. So we need to listen to this, what's going on. This is not just for me. Next message is going to, we're gonna like skip back and forth. I'm gonna go to the relationship cards. This is the deck that I thought I lost yesterday. So you thought you lost something and you didn't. And I'm gonna say, during Mercury retrograde, unfortunately for me, the ghost of my past showed up again. Remember that song yesterday? I'm ready to let go of my ghosts. Are you? We're not kids anymore, right? Say hello to your new lover and say goodbye to the old one. Well, my guy showed up last night, and I didn't want to see him, and I wasn't happy to see him while he was there. And when he showed up, he didn't show up in form, not in fine form at all. He was doing the same as he always did. He had a leather jacket on, which represented a rebel, and it was black. I looked at that leather jacket, and it was too small for him. So he was trying to be something he wasn't, and he's trying to be a tough guy that he wasn't. Didn't fit him, didn't suit him, but he still chose to act the way he acted. And when something was said, somebody said something to him, his response was, "Fuck you." So it was like, you know what? Hey, you've been trying to help somebody. So it's kind of like that cat, right? He had that badass collar on, but he's a big baby, right? Inside, trying to portray himself as something he wasn't, but still didn't want to be held back, wanted to be free. And basically when I tried to keep him in there, tried to restrain him, he said, "Fuck you" to me. Sprayed in there and left. So huge message, huge. So I don't want a rebel that doesn't want to be held, right? We don't want what doesn't come to us willingly. We don't. Don't go chasing after something like that. Woo, that one fell out right now. So the first message we get is support. And you see a group of people. Now, this is not the War of the Roses. Look how different they are. All different cultures, they all look different, they all dress different, but they all are chill with each other, right? A little bit of clouds there, but a bright sunshine. This is about seeking support from like-minded people. This is about hanging with the group that wants to be there. No one's making anyone stay there. They are very relaxed and comfortable. This is you seeking support and encouragement and fun and love with ones who want to be with you, who are like-minded, a soul family. Go for that. Right? It's funny because they're not laughing. They're kind of looking at us like, do you get it finally? Like, really? I mean, do we have to make this any more clear? I mean, come on. That's kind of the look every one of them are giving us. But you need to go to where your soul is nourished, where it's fun, where you can laugh, where you're supported. Look for that environment where you feel safe. Not where you're afraid, not where the table's going to flip over and God knows what somebody's going to say. In my dream, my old roommate was an alcoholic. She was drunk. She was sleeping with everyone. She slept with the other guy, the guy that was my ex-guy. She was sleeping with everyone. He was too. They were all, she was acting like a big badass. He was pretending to be a big badass and he wasn't. But the whole scene was just distasteful to me. It wasn't this scene. This is what I call in. I call this in. So this is what Spirit's encouraging you to do. That's hysterical. Okay, I'm going to put the radio on, see what we get. That person, the first person wanted a variety. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys heard that, but that is my song from my twin. All of me loves all of you. Cards on the table, both showing hearts. All of me loves all of you. So that is a different scene than the War of the Roses where the table is upset and the cups are all broken. This is cards of love all on the table. Or this is who I am. Yes, I've broken some cups. I'm not perfect. But this is all of me showing you all of me. And I see all of you. And I love all of you. And you love all of me just as I am. I don't have to be perfect. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. So emotionally, somebody's struggling, but there's love there. And my cards are all on the table, and they're all showing hearts. So I'm not hiding anything from you. So if there's somebody coming to you with a mask on, it's not who you think it is. Huge message to me. Oh, I guess we're going to the relationship cards again. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I literally just saw the word bondage. Bondage. Which kind of went with both things. Cat felt like he was in bondage, and there was a lot of sex going on in my dreams last night. It was really distasteful. People were disgusting. They really were. I was just like, what am I doing in this dream? Get me the hell out of here. Ugh. So, I mean, I saw it played out with a cat, but clearly I'm connecting with somebody else who is playing this out in their real life, because I saw real life people, and I've seen those people in my dreams before, and I know they're not the people that I'm being shown, because they are mixing people from Wisconsin with people from here in California, all in the same environment, and they wouldn't be. So they're just, what they're doing is they're showing you, so for dreams, if you guys get that in your dreams, what they're doing is they're showing you the characteristics of people. So one of the characteristics is the person is a nurse and she's an alcoholic and a drug addict and bipolar, and the other person is a player, a user, uses his looks to charm people, and basically is a bum, lives off of everybody else, big dogs that ride for free. So the scene was not a pretty picture. But, but they were different people from different areas, just so that I knew who they were that I was looking at. Ugh. I feel sorry for whoever lives in that family. I would be doing exactly what Spirit said and totally removing myself. Detach. Okay, next message. Interesting. This is very, very perfect for right now. Communication. All right, I'm looking at the colors too. The color of the sacral chakra and the solar plexus and the color of love. Okay. What's interesting to me is the rays of sun are literally a cobweb, which is creativity, the web of creation, right? We create strands of communication. Do you need to recreate or rebuild your web? Have some strands broken away? Has there been a miscommunication? Because right now, especially during Mercury retrograde, and communication is very, very important, that everything is said very, very clear. Anything left foggy or unclear is open to interpretation, which is generally going to be wrong. If you don't make yourself clear, you're going to be misunderstood. So be very, very crystal clear with your communication. Communicate what it is that you wish to the universe, to the world, to each other. Remember yesterday in our family meetup, it was, oh, well, if you had said that, we could have done that, but you didn't say anything, so now this is what I've done. Okay, get very clear on what you want and say that to the universe. I don't want this. That's the easy way to do it, because we all know what we don't want, right? You know what you don't want. That'll make it help you make it more clear for yourself and others about what you do want. Well, what I don't want is the situation I watched last night, and I will do anything and everything to avoid that, right? So when you see warnings like this, maybe you're reaching that stage, but you haven't quite got there, but you see the signs. It's coming. Do you have to wait there until the tower falls, or are you going to remove yourself from that kind of environment? I remove myself. I don't align with toxic people, ever. I was forced. I was in a roommate situation. They were my roommates. So what I watched last night in a dream could have been somebody's roommates. I would be moving. I would be making plans like I did. I moved from there to this house. That was my old situation. It was drugs, alcohol, bipolar, violence, sleeping around. It was lies, everything. It was awful. So those are the web, like if you have strands of communication, you think about the web as, how you hold things together. There are relationships that you want to cut loose. Don't fix those webs. Those the threads of your communication or your connection. But then there's ones like the one we just listened to. Cards on the table, both showing hearts. All of me loves all of you. Maybe there's a miscommunication. Maybe there's a distance between you. You need to reweave those webs tighter and communicate. It's important that you do, because right now things are really fucked up. Or they could be. What else? Yesterday in our Soul Family meetup, what came up a few times was, because it came up during the songs, you know, I would stop and listen to a song and get a message. And it was, I don't know what to say to you. I'm standing here in front of you. I'm trying to play it cool. Don't try and play it cool. Don't put on a facade. Don't try to be the big badass when you're sensitive and something else is going on inside. Speak your truth from your heart. You will never have a proper relationship with anyone, business, familial, or love, ever, if you are not honest and open and clear with your communication. No one knows where each other stands if you're not clear. No one knows what your boundaries are if you don't make them clear. No one knows how to make you happy or have a happy environment if they don't know what your preferences are. And everything can be said in love. Cards on the table, both showing hearts, coming from a place of love. Even in the dysfunctional Rose family War family that I just watched, the War of the Roses that I just watched last night, you can come from a place of love and lovingly detach. I detach from you with love. You know, you go your way, I go my way. Remember that snake that was crossing my path that had just fed on somebody? He stopped, and I didn't have a good feeling about that snake. I knew who that snake was. I tried to talk myself into thinking, well, maybe it was a good snake. No, it wasn't a good snake. It had just fed on an innocent one. And I heard, there's a snake in the grass, and he said, don't tread on me. That one wants to fight. And I said, look, I'm not afraid of you. I've got an entire spiritual team, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. I don't want anything to do with you. You go slither back into your hole and leave me alone, and I will go on my way. If you choose to rise and step into being a decent human being and come from your higher self, then there might be something that could ever, we might be able to be friends, but it doesn't look that way to me. So you go your way, I go my way. Trust your instincts. What you get first is your message, not what you tell yourself later. Don't try and fix something that is not wanting to be fixed. I'm going to go to the next message from the Akashic Tarot. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. See if we have another message. Put them back up on the shelf. Am I coming out of left field? I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Put them back up on a shelf. That's right, because the rebel, the one that wants to be the rebel, I'm a rebel just for kicks. Put them back up on the shelf. That's what I do. You're back up on the shelf. Sorry. You're not welcome, and I'm not taking you out of the store. A rebel just for kicks. We rebel against unjust situations. As I said, we are the Eiffel Towers, right? And the ones who come against us and say, put a gag on that monument. We are the monuments. They want to put a gag on that monument. They want to knock down the Eiffel Tower. They want to kill all the fags that don't agree, right? And we say, we dare to dream a different dream, because that's not the life for me. We are rebels in that case, right? We're rebels. We'll rebel against that. But we're not a rebel just for kicks. There's a reason, and it's an honorable reason. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I don't rebel just for kicks. I'm not going to waste my precious energy on that. Commitment in reverse. We're back to the War of the Roses. Oh, wow. Okay. So, clearly, here we see love. The light's on. I get it. We're signing a contract, business deal, marriage contract, soul contract. Think about that. Soul contract. Remember how yesterday in the family meetup, I don't know if you guys were there, but in the yesterday family meetup, we're talking about how sometimes people will say, well, I went to my spiritual advisor and she said it's because of it's a past life contract. And so, yeah, well, you know what? Fuck the past life contract. If it's not working in my highest good, it's over. I'm cutting it. I'm breaking it. So this could be a soul contract that is not in your highest good. You signed something in a past life that you do not want in this life. So don't get hung up on that. So in reverse, it's not a positive. Contract's broken. This light's going to burn that paper up. A separation, a break in some kind of contract. It's either happened or it's happening. I watched it last night, two ways. So a business may be breaking apart, a family may be breaking apart, a marriage may be breaking apart, a friendship may be breaking apart. Whatever it is, a total severing of ties. A divorce, you could be losing a job, you could be demoted. Things happen during Mercury retrograde. Now remember, this is awful feeling, right? It could be not quite as bad as that. It could be like a temporary situation where you're having a trial separation, or you are, right now we don't have work for you, so we're gonna give you, you got to take a leave for a little bit. It could be, maybe you were all excited to sign a contract. Remember, don't sign a contract for something you really, really want during Mercury retrograde. So maybe you put a contract in on a house, or you were trying to, get an apartment or whatever, and that fell through. It fell out. Or maybe you were selling a house and it fell out. Maybe you're putting a business deal together and it fell apart. Whatever it is, it's a negative, right? And so if it's upsetting for you, some of those situations, sometimes you roll with it and you're like, okay, well, clearly, because sometimes you'll make a decision that way. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And that's what I said about that cat. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And in our relationship, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Meaning, I'm not going to beat your door down. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to, if I keep, presenting my case to you, it's like a lawyer. You go to trial, you present your case to the judge, both sides do, and then they make a decision. Once the judge makes a decision, it's done. But you can ask for a retrial, right? You can. And sometimes you're granted a retrial. So sometimes if you make a proposal to something, or even someone, maybe you're going to get turned down. Maybe somebody made a proposal to someone and they're like, nope, no thanks. Like with me. No thanks. Not interested in cheaters. No. Sorry. It could be that. Maybe you have done this before. You could try. Or like I said, you may just think, okay, well, this is how I made it. I'm gonna make the offer, and if it's declined, well, then I realize, that's how I like to do things. It's not in my highest good. If it doesn't happen, it's not in my highest good. Because if it was in my highest good, it would happen. It's very clear. So doesn't mean it's going to make it easy. You may have had your heart set on that. I love that house. I love that cat. And that's why my landlord didn't want me to do it. He's like, I don't want you to get your hopes up on something and have him run off or get hurt, or, the coyotes get him or whatever. So you may feel a sense of loss and it may really hurt. So it's important to allow yourself to feel that loss. But you don't want to look at it like it's a major catastrophe. Because whatever it is, it wasn't in your highest good. It was going to happen. There was no stopping it from happening. It means something better is coming along. Sometimes, as I said, it doesn't have to be as hysterical as all that. It could be that you're physically separating. And it could be that it's not by choice. Like, my husband's in the military, and it's really sad. It's hard for me. And we just got the orders. He's got to go. Okay, you can't help that. Doesn't mean he doesn't love you, but it's difficult, and it's a separation, right? Or maybe you've got to go, as I said, we've gotten this before. I'm set up here, I'm doing good here, and all of a sudden, remember, the tower hits, and maybe that situation that I watched last night ended a job opportunity, right? And that person's going to now have to relocate. And so they were happy where they were. Well, not really. They weren't really happy. But now they're going to have to relocate. They're going to have to go to another place, have to move to another home, relocate to another job. And there's could be a distance because maybe not everybody in that organization or family had a problem. Maybe it was just certain ones. So you're going to miss certain people. It could be that. Again, the main contract we have is with ourselves. So if we are honoring our soul's contract, we are treating ourselves with respect. We are walking our spiritual path. We're walking our walk, talking our talk. We're taking care of our physical bodies, giving ourselves enough rest, giving ourselves a high five, saying nice things about ourselves, not negative things. If you're in the reverse with your contract, you're not following your soul's path. You've broken an oath to yourself. You're treating yourself with disrespect by accepting less than you deserve. You're telling yourself you're not worthy. You're telling yourself you're fat, you're old, you're out of shape, you're stupid. I can't believe I did this. You're beating yourself up. Self-blame. Not forgiving self. You are choosing to be a rebel just for kicks instead of embracing the truth of who you really are. This is a wake-up call. The falling tower is always a wake-up call. So Spirit says if you have been dismissing yourself or what's important to your soul, this is a wake-up call. This is a light going on. This is telling you it's time to start committing to you, not to these others. You know, I spent all that time down there with that cat. I'm not angry that I did that. Don't think that, because I would do that again. I am just that way. But I spent a lot of time down there in the garage on the floor with this cat that didn't want to be there, right? Trying to give it love. I'm not going to throw my energy away. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm not going to do it tomorrow night. If he continues to keep coming here, I have to allow Spirit to show me. I may still take him to get him fixed. And that'll stop him from fighting other cats and getting himself in trouble. Clearly his owners don't give a shit about him. But I'll see what Spirit says for me to do about that, you know. I watched something. I read something last night about, I got to tell you this. This is interesting because it's a metaphorical thing too. I read about cats being neutered. I asked, you know, if a cat gets neutered after it's fixed, will it stop spraying? And I know this. I just wanted to see, you know, what are the chances? Because I know usually once they could become to full maturity, if they have been spraying for a long time, it's, you know, chances are it's going to be tough. But that's the same thing as a tomcat. Somebody who's been, you know, a player his whole life. That people can change. So can animals, right? It just depends on the heart condition. But one of the messages in there was this person, he was writing in and he was saying, I have a cat. He's a tomcat. He just, you know, became aged and he started spraying in my house. I have a female cat in the house. I mean, another male. He doesn't spray, you know. So if I get this male fixed, will he stop spraying? And she said, the doctor said, well, you should get them both fixed. And he goes, no, I'm not going to get my cat fixed. My cat's got big balls. And that's part of his personality. I'm going to take away his masculinity. I'm going to take away his manhood. I'm not going to get him fixed. And I thought, you're a fucking idiot. It's uncomfortable for the animal, but it's a status symbol for him, for the guy. It's like these guys, these idiot bros that have bulldogs and pit bulls with big balls, and they take them out there and they have the dog fights. That's because they are small men. And they use these dogs with these big balls. Have you seen the trucks that have the big balls that hang on the back of the trucks? Because they're trying to show you that they're a big badass. If you're a big badass, I'll see it for myself. You don't have to have your balls hanging out, dude. And if you've got your balls hanging out and you're a player, you're not a big badass. You're an asshole. That's what you are. So think about that. Who are you around? Who are your friends? And if you feel like you got to be a rebel just for kicks, you need to examine yourself. You've let yourself down. It's pathetic. It really is. And this is a serious wake-up call for you. And if you're listening to me, you already know, because you feel very uncomfortable and you're bristling and you're probably saying, fuck you, to me. And I don't care, because I'm talking straight from my higher self. So, Spirit wants you to commit. Could be that you have broken a commitment. You have done that. You have been a rebel just for kicks. You have been arrogant and you've acted like a real asshole, female or male, with your partnership, with your family, with a lover, with your marriage partner, with a friend. You did all of that. And that's why the pelican showed up yesterday, for forgiveness. That you can forgive yourself if you're willing to change. Because Spirit says, if this is a situation, they're asking you to recommit. If you are capable, if you can set that cup back up on the table and apologize for your behavior and show it by your actions and your works, you can come back to the table, Spirit says. Spirit is always welcoming you back. Spirit will always welcome you back, right? I pull my chair back up to the table, I set it upright, and I set things straight. I'm going to set things straight because we got communication. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to lay it out. Cards all on the table, coming from a place of love, all showing hearts. I'll show you all of me. This is all of me, and if you can't accept me for all of who I am, I will do all that I can to make up for what I've done, because Spirit wants you to recommit. Bam! This message has all come together. All right, that was heavy. But it's, necessary. Dang, there's a lot of stuff. Mercury retrograde is definitely a time of rethinking things. It is the past coming back to tell you to look at where you are now, where you were. So maybe you were. This is maybe a high five for you. Maybe you were there and now you're here and you're like, wow, that was me. I don't want to be that person. I am so glad that I listened to my higher self and I came to my senses, because I look at that person and yeah, I relate to that. Not because that's who I am now, but that's who I used to be. I used to be that. I was a scrapper, man. I was a player. And I was, because I wasn't a big badass. I was so afraid of getting hurt that's just what I put out there. Because I figured, if you thought that of me, then you aren't going to come around me, right? I only date slutty girls because they don't expect anything from me and I don't have to treat them with respect. I'm not going to give them my heart. That's why I hang out with slutty girls. That's why I hang out with guys that are a hoe, because I don't have any respect for them. But you know what? You don't have any respect for yourself either. Yuck. I'm so glad I've never been in that situation, and my mindset doesn't go there, but I've watched it. And you can turn around from that. I've seen it. It's possible. So one final message from the relationship cards. And you could have been somebody who's done dirty business deals. I slighted my partner. I really wanted that. I cut them. I did something really nefarious. It was shitty. I knew what I could do, and I did it. I was the magician, and I was the magician in reverse. It was really fucked up. And I don't want to be that person. I'm sorry about that, and I will live the rest of my life. It's kind of like the person who's dying, right? Father, if you help me through this, I will commit my rest of my life to my path. I swear to God. And they do. People change, but we can't make people change. It has to. These messages go. You don't listen to this reading and then say, hey, you need to watch this. Like my mom used to do. We used to go to the Kingdom Hall, and the brother on the platform would be giving the speech, right, and the talk, and she would lean over and say, so and so needs to listen to this, or your dad better be listening to this, or your sister, or your brother, And I used to sit there with feeling like everyone knew that the finger was being pointed at me. I've always been hard on myself. And I was thinking, no, Mom, this is my message and this is your message. We need to listen to this. So all of these things that I'm saying to you, these are my messages. I'm listening to all of this. And you may want something really, really bad. Remember, don't be fooled by a shiny, benevolent facade. You may want to belong to that group. You may think that guy's really cute. You may think that girl's really hot. You may think that job looks really all that, but if you look underneath and see the truth of the reality of the situation, it's a different story. I just was told not to go to this deck, and I feel like we've spent enough time talking, but I'm being asked to go to the Shadows and Light, Oracle of Shadows and Light. I'm curious to see if we get the card that I thought that we were going to get. I literally see a card in my head, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's Spirit's choice. Because, I have a thought in my mind. I'm seeing thoughts. Just like right now, you are listening, and you have a scenario in your mind, right? So you're seeing something. I do that too. So that's why I always say correct for neutrality on all levels. I am not going to pick a card. That's why I do it in front of you guys. I allow Spirit to choose the card. So if you ever go and you watch readers and they have the cards pre-done, I don't know. They're kind of going with what they're thinking. Sometimes people do that because they say it's doesn't take as much time, but I'd rather do it this way so that you can see that this is Spirit choosing this message, because then I know that I am not allowing my ego to somehow slip into here. I am, I'm not infallible. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality. Okay. Oh, this is a nice one, and it's not what I thought. Whoa. But I did turn over two. On the bottom of the deck, Carnivorous Fairy, which was not the one I was thinking. And that is somebody, an energy vampire. Someone that's going to come to you all sweet and shiny, but benevolent beside. Underneath, they're vicious. They are a narcissist. They will take from you. They'll be sweet and charming and beautiful and loving to get what they want, and then they will spray all over your garage. They'll fuck up your table. They'll steal your wife or your husband, or try, or underhand you at business, or berate you and talk shit behind your back. That's the Carnivorous Fairy. But look how they present themselves. As a beautiful, sweet thing. As a gorgeous guy. As a really, really cool job opportunity. Could even be a vehicle that you're going to buy. You're going to get a vehicle during Mercury retrograde? Take it to a mechanic and have it searched. It could look really good on the outside. It could be sweet. What a sweet deal. But it's not a sweet deal. Remember the two offers. And then, I am Callie. Death. The falling tower. You called me in. It's over. It's done. Destruction. But now you rebuild. Because what was fallen apart was built on a faulty foundation. You weren't meant to be there. Have that. Go there. And then your message. We just got recently. We got it again. So here's confirmation. And this is a sweet message to end on. Thank you. This is, you've come up against this obstacle in your life. Could be you or the Roar of the Roses. Could be this relationship. Could be this partnership. Whatever it is. You've come up against a block and you're like, oh my God, I've hit the wall. It could be you trying to work out a project, right? You're trying to figure out how to do this deal. I'm trying to create something. You could be just literally sitting there trying to write a song. It doesn't have to be gastronomical, horrible, horrific, okay? But it's annoying. It could be very serious. But whatever it is, it's a block. You're at a block. I can't get over it. I can't get through that wall. I can't get under that wall. I can't climb that freaking wall. I could bang my head against the wall, but that's not doing me any good. So Spirit now comes forward. This is divine intervention. Spirit stepping in, saying, psst, come here. I'm going to show you something. I am wearing a dress that is of blue and green. My laces are blue. Blue is the color of communication. So the first thing that's important here is speaking your truth, openly, honestly. Communicate clearly. The next message is, things may look dark, but I'm holding up a light. You can trust me. I'm coming and I'm offering healing in this situation. And it's coming from the heart. It's coming from a place of love. You can trust me. I'm going to take you to a place where this wall has already started to come down. Now, this could be communication block between you and someone else, or any of the other things that I mentioned. No, I'm not leading you astray. A lot of times people, you don't know who to trust. Remember, there's a good offer and there's a bad offer. This is the good offer, okay? Now, remember, go where there is love, forgiveness, understanding, truth, honesty, compassion, kindness. Don't go where there is blame, ridicule, judgment, anger. Clearly, if somebody... Now think about this. The narcissist that we just saw will come to you like this. But underneath, they are the other. But they've already given you signs of that. You already know that. This isn't a complete secret. They've either fucked you over before, let you down before, ripped into you before, and then they're like, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm sorry. They're the classic, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Then they want to buy you something. This is the guy who treats you like shit when he gets drunk and then buys you flowers the next day, or buys you all these clothes, or takes you on a vacation, but he does it again and again and again. This is the cheater who, same situation, right? You already know, so stop fooling yourself. This one is spirit coming. And remember, we got yesterday, we're here. Are you willing to look into this situation yourself? Do your own investigation with spirit and your own higher self, honestly, to see if this one that's bringing you the advice, that's giving you the information, that's trying to help you out is coming from a place of truth and honesty and goodness. Or if they are the narcissist, you have to be the one, because we have a good offer and a bad offer. This offer that's coming from the one from the light, which is this one, you're like, yeah, but you got black wings. You could have a tainted view because you are not trusting. But I'm telling you right now, I'm holding up a light. So someone that comes to you, someone could literally come to you, and you're surprised at who this one is. I didn't expect that from you. But the person, remember, my Uncle Phil. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. My Uncle Phil, he's a big man. He rides a motorcycle, dark glasses, beanie backward, hat backwards, Harley hat. He could look really scary to people that didn't know him, but all it takes is 30 seconds for him to smile, a big grin, and you recognize that he is the most gentle soul, loving. So, careful. This one's going to show you how to get underneath that obstacle. The wall has already been coming down. It's already been crumbling, whatever that wall. Maybe it's a wall of protection somebody's put up. Maybe you don't realize that the wall has already been coming down, right? It's been crumbling a little by little because of maybe the way you've been handling yourself, because of what you've been doing. Who knows? Maybe because the person is seeing the light themselves and they're growing. If this is about a person or a situation, could just be, some kind of project. But you're not going to be able to figure it out, is what Spirit's saying. You're beating your head against the wall because you're not getting it. You're not seeing it. So Spirit's telling you, we can help you make your way through. It's safe, and it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to be difficult. If you pay attention to the guidance Spirit gives you, it's up to you if you want to make it harder than it is. You can sit there and bang your head against that wall and not follow me, or you can listen to Spirit, listen to your heart, go away from what you insist on trying to do. I have done this my entire life. I will admit it. I'm an Aries Ram. I spent my whole life smashing my head through walls because I was a cesarean baby. I was lifted out. It doesn't happen to all cesarean babies, but it is a fact that babies that didn't have to struggle through the birth canal come into the world feeling like they have to fight for everything. There's songs about it, I came in fighting. And there's a song called Superhero. It makes me cry whenever I listen to it. And it talks about if you've had to fight for it your whole life, it's really hard to not fight. It's really hard not to put on that facade, that badass dog collar when you're really not. Because you've had to fight. You've had to be that way. Okay, well, Spirit's saying here you don't have to do this. So you need to drop that false armor. You need to put your cards on the table. Honestly, openly. Stubborn thinking can be changed, and it can be your stubborn thinking that needs to be changed. But it can be the stubborn thinking of someone else that can be changed. Remember, they may be wanting to change. Maybe they've just reached a point in their life where they can't do this anymore. I'm not happy here anymore. I can't freaking handle it anymore. Yes, I've been owned by this company, this job, this family, this mindset, this past life bullshit. I don't want it anymore, and I'm choosing to break free. And I'm going to stop my behavior, my thought patterns, my repetition of insanity, doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result. I've realized it's no longer in line for what I want. And if I've put up a wall of protection, I realized that, well, yeah, it was keeping me safe from all that bullshit, acting like a big badass, acting like a big bad bro, but I'm not letting love in. I'm not letting anything in. I'm my wall of protection has literally sealed me off in an ivory tower, and no one can get to me. I don't have any opportunities. I mean, it could be that you've sealed yourself up and you're not been sociable at all. You've become agoraphobic. You've pulled yourself in. You're not even going to go out there, but you're dying inside. You can't live your life that way. So that's stubborn thinking that needs to be changed and reworked. And yes, put up shields of protection, but different shields of protection. Shields of protection against what is coming against me that is negative for me. I want to allow in what is in my highest good. You don't want to be isolated. You want to be protected. You want it to be your choice. So trust where the light goes. Trust where love is. Trueness, kindness, compassion, freedom. That cat didn't want to be kept in a garage. He freaked out. Don't lock me up. I've been locked up before and I was hurt. That's probably what happened, and I know that because the cat's a lover, and he's scared. So but they've probably tried to lock him up and abused him. So somebody has had, and it could be even as far as relationships. I've never wanted to be in a relationship again because I was in an abusive relationship. I will never give my freedom up to anyone. And a lot of times people feel that a commitment to something or someone is a loss of their own personal freedom. But if you are say in a relationship, all of me loves all of you. If all of me loves all of you, I only want what's in your highest good. I want you to feel free. And you can bet I want to feel free. I don't want to be locked into anything either. The most healthy relationship is where both feel free and both stand on their own 2 feet and both are independent. That's healthy. And that's what Spirit wants for us. That's why Spirit says we have to love ourselves first. We put ourselves first. We get standing on our own 2 feet, grounded first. Spirit works on us, not on everyone else. We don't work on other people. We work on us. My readings go out to everyone. You get to choose to listen and do what you want to do. Spirit's giving you this advice. They're not forcing it upon you. Nothing is forced upon you if it comes from a place of love. So, anger, hatred, judgment, blame, ridicule, forcement, restriction, isolation, not the place to go. There's a difference between this and this. They may look similar, but they're not. And you may have been looking at a job situation. Remember, are you going to take a look at it and see if it's really different? Well, you look very much like that person. You're even both Aries. You even have the same personality. Yeah, well, you know what? That one's a bitch, and I'm not. So that one's going to eat you alive. This one wants to show you the light so that you can do what's in your highest good. You can come or go. This one doesn't give a shit. They just want to own you. Make your choice wisely. All right, you guys, have a great day.